All right, warriors, gather around. Come on in a little closer. Warriors, we're going to do a breathing exercise, 5 seconds, 5 Mississippi. So let's clear our mind. For those of you new, be sure and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe sounds more delicious, and if I make you have a more firsterist, then when you subscribe, you won't regret it. How about that? 5 seconds, what we're doing is clearing our minds from the mindfuck of yesterday. And for some of you, to ease your mind from having such a sharp, keen sense of situational awareness, let's just say it, posturing defensively, because you've had your ass handed to you hard. And some of you are starting to realize you had to walk away from a lot, from everything. And you're not alone. But you also understand you can't just go voicing yourself, having diarrhea of the mouth. And you're soon going to realize that everyone that's listening to you is not for you. And you're just feeding the sharks droplets of ammunition to use against you. 5 seconds gives us perspective so that we can realign ourselves, so that you can have what you need to fight the temptations. And see, understand that only exists in your mind. Right now, the narcissists, you know, they, thems, they've forgotten about you. Right now, they've got to concentrate on their next target. Many of you have already identified yourselves as unapproachable. There's no do-overs. They understand this full well. There's not even a possibility of a friendship. You understand me? And so they're not thinking about you in that sense. But let me tell you something, what I need you to understand too. During these 5 Mississippis, as you're clearing your mind, what I want you to remain resolute is in this. Learn to manage it. Stop trying to forget it. It's futile. When you pray for a sign, it's between good and evil. And when you join in harmony, what you're allowing yourself to do is release your ego, your pride. You bring forth the voice of humility so that good supersedes the voice of evil. But never pray that you stop being tested, because it's in those tests that makes you stronger. You see, you're going to go from making entries of, oh, dang it, man, I got caught on that one, to almost, with a few salt and pepper, shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But you're getting more better bestest at catching it. And now, through observation alone, you're able to make entries without experiencing the butt hurt. A shadow warrior. You don't provoke. But let me tell you something, you stand your ground. Because whoever told you you don't hit first lied. Must have been raised by your mama. When provoked, guess you better be making a scheduled phone call for a coaching session. You were absent to daddy. Let's put some street smarts into you, because this is why you're being taken advantage of. Let's take 5 seconds. Let's take a walk on the beach, a stroll, just chilling, man. Let's have some real talk. Come on. Release slowly. All right. Shake it off. You know, everyone's heard the saying, you got 2 eyes to see twice as much, 2 ears so that you can hear, and listen twice as much. And I always say this, I always added this. When you hear, you heard once, kind of like white noise. When you listen, it's like you heard it twice, and in your mind you replayed it, now it's the third. And what you're doing is extracting all interpretations to make sure you have a full understanding before a remark. What narcissists are banking on is that you become reactive, not control your emotions, not regulate them like them, because this is what gives them away. And they want you to be mentally interrupted with hiccups, with your badass self carrying on like such a solid ass person. But they need you to be able to do it when provoked, when they command it out of you. So you have 2 eyes to see twice as much, 2 ears to listen twice as much, and 1 mouth should speak less, but mean what you say and do what you say. You know, narcissists find it amusing knocking you down when you weren't looking. They felt so empowered watching you drown, not knowing why, where it's coming from. And they celebrated this, watching you as spectators. A thrill. Everyone bet all in against you. And it was a premature celebration, because what they didn't expect you to do is to shake the dirt off your ass and get back up. Now they're realizing they just need to get their asses whooped a little on the streets to appreciate what they had. And you get to rise up with your own shit-eating grin. Bitch, it's my turn. Well, you're going to live to see the narcissist regret all they've done. Because what I want you to understand is evil exacts discipline as well. And so, in watching you succeed without them, and believe me, they're not going to stop looking. They may not hoover, but they're watching you. They're watching you operate differently. They're watching you every day leave them in the dust, because you're in another league. And because they couldn't destroy you, they will cope bouncing from one relationship to another, being promised. All they have to do is invest and believe in their twin flame, their soulmate. You get it? Gotcha, bitch. Warriors, narcissists will create a network and use your entire family against you. And because you have no idea, they're being amused by the simple fact that you're providing for all of them, and they have the audacity to sit at the same table with you as Judases. Not one Judas, Judases, because many of you were shown to be by your own flesh and blood to be the enemy, the scapegoat. And you were supposed to tolerate their behavior of entitlement and still support them. It's why right now, this is how vain narcissists are. They believe that they can get you anytime they want. But what's really pissing them off is they're wondering, why the hell aren't you chasing them yet? Who are you with? You see, only someone who values connections and codependency and that much can be hurt. Because narcissists will use this as leverage against you to turn your own against you. Which is why lone wolf is so important. Warriors, your strength is this. Your walk-away game is unlike no other. You're the GOAT. And the reason you're the GOAT is because you already did the hardest part, and that was turning away and walking away from everything you thought mattered. Some red flags to watch out for. The ghetto rich. Understand money and power doesn't change the person. What the person is has already been ingrained in the heart. It just exaggerates it, brings it out. So things to watch for, and you can tell it. You can see the thirst of power in people's eyes who have never had it. It's kind of like the analogy I use every now and again of the first-time Mercedes owner, the 190E owner versus the 500 SEL owner with an AMG package. Way different target markets, right? But it's funny that the one that's the hardest to deal with is the one that can barely afford the Mercedes, not the one who can throw French fries on the bottom of the floorboard and not give a shit. Spill a coffee and go, don't worry about it. You see, warriors, first-timers, new money, with attitude, that's what your malignant and covert narcissists. And they come out wanting to get their asses kissed with such arrogance that it's embarrassing to be around them. Now you know who I'm talking about. Lacking humility, because in many cases there are imposters that act like they earned it and got it when all they did was be chose by someone who earned it. Big difference. So warriors, now you know the difference between genuine and imposters. The critical thinker, though, will cipher through consistency in the ability to communicate intelligently without being self-convicted, and through actions exercises respectful cooperation with all different levels of psychopathy in and around. Because that's truly a warrior that knows how to navigate in chaos and create calm. Heaven on earth. While others live hell on earth between the good and, in their mind, evil prevails. Both worship just two different gods. One wakes up wondering how many lives they will change, how many smiles, how many hugs, while the other wonders, whose life am I going to fuck up today? Don't be a soft target, warriors. There's a time and a place for everything. You don't show weakness outside the place you created for your peace. Remember, warriors, narcissists can smell blood. Don't give them what they want. You weren't picked because you're a quitter. That's for damn sure. Thanks for this badass walk. I appreciate it. Oh, man, look. I thank y'all so much for all the contributions and support. Y'all mean the world to me. And for those of you who have been contributing through Amazon wish list, Chico's wish list, that's so awesome. Oh, look, I want to do the scriptures with y'all, but it make it so much easier. I have a printer, and it's now been reduced. If somebody can hook a brother up, check it out. I'm fixing to change hookup culture. The warrior way. Hook a brother up. Show some agape love. Hook up. Get it? With a printer. If I could get a printer, if I could access a printer, I could write my notes more, better, bestest. And I'd love to be able to share a little more insightful references when it comes to the Torah, the Septuagint, and the Holy Scriptures. And those scriptures which, for whatever reason, in the annals of history, are missing books. Things that we need to incorporate in some of the language of understanding later as one becomes a deep diver. You take the information from the Emerald Tablets. But there's so much rich information that if I had a printer, I could salt and pepper it better than I can writing it. Because at this point, my mind works so much faster than I can write. I appreciate your understanding, warriors. Y'all are awesome. I thank y'all. I remain a humble servant. As should you. Always the student. Not asking to not be tested. Asking for strength at unsurmountable odds to do it again so that good can win over evil. Give your Lord something to celebrate. It's never goodbye, warriors. Always until next time. Namaste.